that has never been in contact with any particular law enforcement court system. And from what I can see and what I hear out here from a lot of my Black male, and I'm sure it's common knowledge, is that because they are unfamiliar with the court system, they don't know, number one.
Traveler. Okay.
She and I have already discussed it. Hear the PC, if we can, Judge.
Okay.
And then on the bond reinstatement as well, Judge. Right.
So officers initiated a traffic stop in Harris County, Texas for a vehicle having a fictitious plate traveler on it. During the stop, the defendant refused to provide
Traveler.
During the stop, the defendant refused to provide ID or insurance information.
A simple traffic stop turns into a courtroom reality check. The defendant believed he could challenge authority, but the judge had a different lesson in mind. In court, principles meet consequences.
Stating, "I do not consent to this." Officer attempted to remove the defendant from the vehicle, and defendant actively resisted by pulling his arm away from deputies until he was detained.
Okay. Tell me what.
So we looked at, Madam Prosecutor, the interference with duties of public servant, Your Honor. Even if my client is failing to give them that, then it is an arrestable offense. But in this situation, it is, Judge. However, in this particular situation, he didn't interfere with anything in terms of his own arrest. I can, if it was a resisting or something to that effect, I can.
They're just trying to get him out of the car.
I don't disagree.
It's classic sovereign case where got the license plate, think that traveling by right is what I think how they term it.
Situation, Judge, and the reason I'm employing upon the court is, even from what Madam Prosecutor has seen on the video, they're pulling and tugging at his arm, which put my client in some fear. It was more than one officer. It was pretty.
But he still has a duty. If they're asking you to come out, they can lawfully do that. And there are videos, and go on YouTube, right? There are hundreds of videos where officers will literally destroy your car to get you out. When you get into a pissing match with a person who has the power of arrest, who's going to win, Mr. Daly?
We don't disagree, Your Honor.
Right. You know what I mean? That's real life.
We don't disagree, Your Honor. I think under the circumstances of what actually happened, it was not Mr. Daly's position to resist or to interfere. That was not. He was concerned for his safety at that point. And actually, I don't know. Did you hear that on the video? Right. And so in reviewing the video, it was pretty quick, pretty brash. They didn't give him an opportunity to respond per the prosecutor. In this situation, it wasn't as if he was intentionally.
Remember, this is just a mere probable cause.
Yes,
so,
I agree.
They ask you to come out of the car one time. Yeah, it's really, that's. So, I think that there's enough probable cause to go forward now. The problem is, Mr. Daly, is that we revoke your bond. Your bond is set at 2501, and you've continually failed to appear. So, the case and the way that you've treated us, it shows me that you just refuse to accept authority. How are we supposed to deal with that? How do we deal with that, Timberl?
Your Honor, the only reason I bring to your attention is I asked the court to take into consideration. We have a Black male works every day who, and I hate to put that on the court, but I do in this particular climate, that has never been in contact with any particular law enforcement court system. And from what I can see and what I hear out here from a lot of my Black male, and I'm sure it's common knowledge, is that because they are unfamiliar with the court system, they don't know, number one. Number two, when they do come in contact with police, and my mother is assistant chief of police. So I can understand, even when I was younger, I was taught that there are certain things that you have to do with when a police officer even stop you on a speeding ticket. What we don't know is whenever these officers come up, when you're somebody who don't have the privilege of having a police officer as a parent, or who isn't familiar and is being raised in this particular climate and seeing what they see on TV and seeing what they hear and everything that has occurred, you don't know what the proper steps are. I was trained from when I was grown up what you do. I'm not saying that what he did was right or wrong. I'm not saying that how he reacted to this particular court, it is wrong. However, I'm employing upon the court to ask the court to take into a little bit of consideration. Number one, from his perspective, all defendants, can't just say this, but I do see that, from what I've known from this particular case and now in talking to him, I do believe that there is a sense of sometimes they just don't know. Sometimes they just don't. So I'm asking to reinstate his PR bond. I am now on the case. What you know about me, I'm a tight attorney. I run a tight ship. So, and by way, I believe I can reach him and getting him to court and resolving this matter, which is what I talked to the prosecutor about when you were on break. It's like, let's just resolve this. Let's take care of this.
I'll buy it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
I'm not going to do this again, though. I promise you. I don't care whoever you have. If you flake on us again, that's 3 times. It's out. I'm not going to do it again. Do you understand, Mr. Daly? I mean, when you come to court, good things happen. When you don't show up and you continually do it, you can't expect good things to happen. Now, do you have a Texas driver's license?
Not right now.
You're not allowed to drive.
Right.
You have a bond condition and you've signed an affidavit with me today promising you're not going to drive. I don't care how you term it. Driving, traveling, however you're going to word it, whatever you do not get into the driver's seat of an automobile, a motorcycle, anything with a combustible engine where you can get on the road unless you have approval from us. Do you understand? I don't care that you have to work. I don't care if you have to go to church. I don't care if you're going to a funeral. I don't care if you're going to wherever it may be. Do not drive. Do you understand? Heed this warning. You're not going to get another one. Okay, Timberlake, I'll reinstate the bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I'll talk to her. We were going to try to talk to Chief, but it's pretty busy today.
I think the case is only 3 months old,
yes,
so you've got time. You can do whatever you want.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge.
Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court now, but you must stay in touch with her and she'll tell you when you got to come back to court. If she comes back and tells me she can't get a hold of you because you're playing games or you've gone AWOL or whatnot, or you get arrested for something else, all bets off. We good? I'm not asking for much, man. Really. And for future reference, when you get into a pissing match with someone with the power of arrest, you are nearly always going to lose. It's just the way it works. And as a young Black man in today's society, you got to be extra special careful because things can go really wrong really quick. And there's evidence of that over and over and over. I'm not happy with you, Mr. Johnson. You're on bond in this case, and now you've picked up a felony case. The only thing I asked you to do, behave yourself. Don't pick up any new cases. And now, Morgan, what has Mr. Johnson picked up?
Unauthorized possession of a catalytic converter.
Wow. What happened? Please.
So officers were dispatched to an apartment complex. The security guard in the apartment complex observed the defendant. Observed in plain view in the defendant's vehicle 3 catalytic converters that were freshly and jaggedly cut, and defendants were not mechanics. There's 2 defendants in this case. Defendant 1 was under a vehicle cutting the converter. When he saw security, he attempted to escape by jumping into a vehicle where defendant 2 was in the driver's seat. Security stopped them from leaving.
So where was Mr. Johnson?
I'm just trying to figure out if he was the number 1 or number 2 defendant, Judge.
Right, where was he? Was he in the car? How do we know if it's him? I don't want to try the case, right? But I don't want to.
Sorry, Judge. In the DIMS, they just identify the defendant 1 and 2. Let me just pull up the offense report really quickly. Okay, so Mr. Johnson was under the car. He was the defendant that was under the car, and then there was another defendant in a waiting vehicle.
So was he in the act of taking another one?
Yes, he was in the act of trying to steal a catalytic converter when the security guard caught him.
I am now going to revoke your bond on your first case. I asked you not to get in trouble. You've not picked up a felony case. Is there anything that you would like to add?
Your Honor, I would ask that the court set a bond and obviously.
I mean, that's.
I understand. Yeah.
That's, each one of those is like $5,000-6,000 and someone has to. Life's hard enough as it is, man. You know, really. It goes with you. Hi, Miss Ziegler. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
So it's making a firearm accessible to a child. Did someone pass away as a result?
So this one was the defendant, the father of the children. There were 3 children playing. And then the gun or the weapon was found on the bed, and one of the children was trying to get rid of the gun and then ended up shooting and killing his 10-year-old brother, shooting in the side of his head. And I spoke with Caroline on this, but I was more comfortable deferring to you without an agreed rec on what you thought was appropriate here.
I don't know.
I looked at the mitigation packet, but
What'd you think?
for some reason the case is 2 years old and it was only a 7-page packet. I felt that his statement wasn't really, taking as much responsibility overtly for this, and then it was images of their family. I understand all of that, but with 2 years going on, I don't know why this wasn't resolved with the other chiefs or what's going on, but I just wanted to see a little more with it.
Mr. Gutierrez, come up. Come up. Oh, he doesn't speak English.
No.
Got it.
Morning, Judge.
Hi, Luis. How are you? So are you okay with going without an agreed rec, Ms. Siegler? Are
Sorry.
you okay with going without an agreed rec? Where was the weapon initially? Do you know?
In court, arguments only go so far. Actions matter more. The judge made one thing clear: challenge authority the wrong way, and the system will push back harder. Sometimes the smartest move is knowing when to comply